Hey guys, welcome to the new video about filmmaking or videography. And I will teach you or I will reveal some tricks how you can, create stuff like that. So first of all, why videos are getting more important right now and also in the future. Videos getting more important because of three things actually. They are more and more popular, like Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok. All these, very common and very popular things are based on video. They have had nothing to do with photography. Is based on video. Another thing is maybe why this trend will go on is videos are more authentic, more emotional, more atmosphere comes up because think about you have a photo of a nice landscape with fog, sunrise, something like that. And then you compare it with the video of the same scene. The photo against video. The video will definitely be more emotional, and when you have to choose, it will be the video because it's like I said, more atmospheric, more emotional, and it takes you more emotions to, you know what I mean. A little bit difficult to explain, but it shows more. It's even just better. And for me, it's also videos makes a lot of fun to create, to edit, and all these things. I know a lot of photographers are videos. It's difficult. I have to. It's because sometimes videography and photography are a bit different in some points, like the shutter speed, like aperture. The general things are the same. You can take the camera and you have a video mode in it. Then you can create a video, but you have to think about a few things that are different or not so important in photography, but even more important in videography or filmmaking. And the first point for all people who want to start videography or filmmaking is you don't need expensive gear. I filmed two weddings and also some other stuff only in combination with the camera, Z6 in my case, not the Z50, and the 50mm 1.8 prime lens. That's everything I started with, and all things I done last year is with this combination, not the Z50 like I already said. Just camera and lens, nothing more. I don't have a slider, I don't have a stabilizer, I don't have, I don't know, external monitor and stuff like everything like that. I just have an external microphone, that's it. And that's the only thing you maybe need, an external microphone. And there are also some very good and very, not so cheap, no, not so expensive solutions. Like, how does it say? A lavalier microphone. You can put it here and then you have very good sound. Because the sound has a sound that the camera records is not so good. So invest in an external microphone if you need to. Like here, I have a microphone in front of me to have a better audio for you. And yet, no, my notes, so they're back. First point. No, take it back. But even if you have not so much gear, you don't make bad videos, I would say. You can make so good videos with even less gear because you have more freedom, also more freedom of of movement. I will show you that in the next point. The first point that is very important in videography and not so important in photography is stabilization. You have to stabilize your footage. I will turn. When you record video, you cannot be shaky like that. That doesn't work. You can, in photography, you can make things like that, and you don't have to be really stable because they have a very good stabilizers in new modern mirrorless cameras. Maybe you definitely get 1 or 2 very good shots. But in videography or filmmaking, you cannot do that. You have to stabilize your footage that is a bit more smooth. And a very good method or very good alternative, for not so expensive, low budget, I would say, is you put your elbows very near to your chest. You really pull them in, and then you have the camera here in front of you. Maybe you have a display like here. You can put it up so you can see what you're filming, and then you can create your content. You can make movements. You can movement like that, or you can also make movement like that, or pull in, pull out. You have to train a bit when you are walking and stuff like that. It's even more easier. It's more easier when you're sitting, like I do right now. But it's just try it out, and after 1 or 2 hours, you will be very familiar with the movement, and you have very good stabilized content. And even if it's not stabilized 100%, you can do the rest in post-processing. Yes. Next, also a method I looked up is I have no camera strap here, so I use a bit of my workout equipment. Imagine that's the camera strap. I will put it here. So you can also pull. You have the camera strap around your neck, and then you can pull here, and then it's also stabilized very much. That's also very good also a good tip. I never used it, but it's very effective. Tobias used it 1 or 2 times, I believe, because I'm more a fan of a wrist strap, like on the Z6. Yes, stabilization, very important. Very important to get very good and stabilized footage. So next up, some basic settings for create your first content. Shutter speed, ISO, and aperture. Aperture and ISO are not so important. Aperture makes the same like in photography when it's more open, so f.2. The background will be more unsharp like right now, hopefully. And is it more close? Everything is getting sharp. And ISO is also the same. It's like sensitivity or however to say it of the sensor. So it's the image getting darker when it's lower and brighter when it's more up. So it's the same like in photography. The only thing that's a bit difficult and different is shutter speed. Little example, when I would shoot the content with 1080p 30 fps right now, I would change the settings to 160 in the camera, because little rule time, the shutter speed should be double as high as the frame rate. So when you shoot 60 fps, you should take a shutter speed around 120. So yes, and that's an important setting, definitely. And the last point I have to look up, the light. Light is also important. Right now I'm just filming with the light from the window, and that's enough most of the time. You can also put lights around you, but that comes later. For the beginning, just take the light from outside, have a window next to you, or in the best case, it's in front of you. So the best would be me is it there's a window and the light comes from here. That would be the best case, but for example, at a wedding, you never can control where the light comes, and you also cannot run with. You can also put light on here, but that's stuff for later, more advanced. And yes, these are some basics for videography. And I really want to mention, if you are a photographer and thinking about videography, or maybe you are interested in videography, but it's so difficult, and really try to make the first steps, and after every step, it will be easier. I also started just a bit over a year ago, and today I would say I'm a good videographer. Not the very good, but also not just a beginner. And I film, like I said, just with camera and lens. The rest is imagination. So I know how I want to shoot something, and maybe also a bit of post-processing skills. So that's also an important thing, post-processing or post-editing. One tip, maybe pro tip: you cannot how to say, in photography you can, when you take a photo and it's not gerade, it's not completely, the horizon is not even, something like that. Yeah. I forgot the word, sorry. But when the horizon is not straight, the horizon is not straight, you can change it. But in videography, it's nearly not possible. Also stuff like, there is something on the camera lens. In photography, it's just click and it's array. In videography, it's complicated, very complicated. Also, unsharp images, stabilization, and all these things are more easier in photography than in videography. So in videography, it's more important to take good content. And if you are a photographer, you should definitely start with videography, because I already, for me, my videography skills makes me a better photographer, because my images are better. I try to, even try more to get the best image is possible into the camera, that I don't have to post-process so much, because I hate post-processing in photography, to be honest. But I love it in videography. I don't know. I'm a crazy person. So, hopefully, you get some good insights in the start of videography or filmmaking, and really go out, try to make your first videos, try to make your first clips, and and I hope in maybe next week or the week afterwards or some weeks, I will record and upload a video about post-processing, or the first steps into post-processing videography, or videos in videography. So stay tuned, and thank you very much. Goodbye.